Welcome back to another war video. So this one here is war number 2 of season 30, and we come up against MIBR, so Made in Brazil. Now this alliance last season was a very close war. If I remember rightly, it actually came down to being a draw, which then the tiebreaker was time, and they ended up beating us. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was. So in this war, we are assigned with Human Torch, Doctor Doom, and Archangel. So fortunately, in the off season, I actually managed to dupe Archangel, so now I can use the 6-star quite happily. And we're assigned Path 5 in Section 1, but we only have the one fight, which is the Nick Fury. That's the second fight there. So I come back the next morning, and according to our strategy, what the intention was for this war was to drop the boss, remove the global link in terms of high ground, and then for the other players that still had fights remaining, so a few others apart from myself, we can then do the rest of the map without having to worry about the degen, the shock, or the incinerates, or anything like that that causes the high ground to be a little bit more potent and quicker to activate. So here, I do end up having 5 fights in this war. For me, I'm pretty happy with that. It's a pretty standard war. If you split up the 50 fights by 10, that's how everybody averages out. But there'll be some wars where I have more, some wars where I have less. So heavy hitter, Nick Fury. The main thing to watch out for here is that once you get him into the second life, and the heavy attacks go unstoppable all the time, then you have to be a little bit more cautious. But as you can see here, with the Fury coming on from every time I knock him down, and the amount of damage that the neurotoxins are doing, even with the protection being up, yeah, it's crazy. The only thing I would say is that, as you can see, I'm having to re-parry even in the first life. So I was trying to press parry, but it just wasn't working. So here, it's been a long time since I've done this fight. Especially with Archangel versus Nick Fury, quite often it's a Havoc on here, and I've had to Warlock it. So I was trying to figure out how I wanted to get around the heavy hitter, and what I decided to do is midway through the heavy attack there, after a few dodges, is that I'm going to throw the special 1. And that way, because of how long the special 1 animation is, it actually kicks in like halfway through. So as you can see there, it completely negates all of the heavy attack. And here I can just wait and obviously get hit in the face while I've got the indestructible boost active, but the time was already done for Nick Fury anyway. It was already a 1 fight. So we go into this next one here, and this is Ebony Maw. So these 2 fights I could have done with the global up, because I'm pre-fighting the Ebony Maw as well with Human Torch, but because I was waiting until the next morning, by then the boss had already been dropped, so it didn't really make a big difference in the end. And yeah, so the main thing to worry about, again, obviously this has heavy hitter 2, but it also has power alternator. So I need to make sure that if I ever have more power than Ebony Maw, when that timer goes to the end of the time, underneath Ebony Maw's name there, that I am realistically throwing my special 1s as much as I can, just so that he won't gain any extra power that's unnecessary. And if I have to bait heavy attacks, we don't really want to, then it is what it is. But as you can see there, a 30-second fight and Maw's already dead. So it's not really a tough fight in terms of using Human Torch. And that's his only fight of the war. So I don't need to worry about healing up Torch or anything like that again. And I'm going to get all my fights done in 1 set of boosts and 1 set of energy. And yeah, so it really, when it comes to Alliance War, this is about as smooth as it gets for people. I've just used a 6-hour boost there just because I don't have many of the normal boosts in Overflow anymore. So yeah, where I can, if I do need to buy any health boosts or whatever, I'm just going to buy the 6-hour ones, because you get at least your units worth, sort of thing. The other ones last 20 minutes, whereas this one lasts 6 hours. I pretty much know which one I'm going to buy. There I got a little bit lucky. I was very slow on the capturing the heavy attack, and I thought I was going to get punished by Elsa, but luckily she let me off. And now it's just pretty much a fight of just parrying heavy, bait the special 1 every so often, throw the special attacks in a second. And what I'm going to do here is, because I'm throwing the special attack, as you can see, it takes all the weaknesses back off. So now I can just attack them normally and get that fight done. And then that's Archangel's final fight of the war. So 2 fights left, which is this Dr. Doom on Silver Surfer on Rich Get Richer. Now this is a pretty common placement. I'm surprised it does still catch some people out every so often. I guess high ground probably only makes that a little bit worse at the moment. But like I said, thankfully with the assignments that we managed to do, we just decided that we were going to take out the boss and then figure out these fights and do them after, just to try and make it a little bit easier for the little noobs like me. So this could be baiting a lot of special ones. Even though it's his nullify immune, I'm still just going to throw him about and knock him around with the heavy attack every so often with the stun. It's just a standard like reflex and action to do now. And the main thing to remember in this fight is that you're going to put him into the Doom Cycle. I was a little bit premature with it this time. As you can see, he's not at full power at any point. So even when I try to push them back here, it won't give me enough power than what I wanted. But at the end of the day, Surfer's not a horrific fight. He has no buff, so the special 2 has no way of going unblockable. And here I'm just going to throw a special 3 just before the Aura Hazarith runs out. Just so I still have my Fury. This will give me a second Fury that activates as I'm throwing the special, so it's even more damage. And you'll see here that by the time I've thrown the special, he's pretty much dead, so a couple of hits into the passively stunned Silver Surfer, and he's dead. So just one more fight to go now, and it's this Guardian here. So this node has the Kinetic Transference and the Indestructible 2. So once you hit 2 bars of power, they gain an indestructible buff for so long. Every time they hit your block, they gain power. So I imagine with high ground, Guardian is probably a little bit of a nuisance here. Probably not many great counters. So yeah, the main thing here is I'm just going to try and bait, especially for the first little while. I'm just going to try and bait special 1s. If I can manage to just do a few light attacks here while I've got the aura to gain extra power, then I will. But as you can see there, I'm now starting to gain a little bit too much power, and I'm not going to be able to throw a special 1, so I'll just make the active decision to push myself past the special 2. There's the indestructible that we were talking about earlier. And here, I kind of want him to push to special 3, or as close to special 3 as I can. So if he's got 2 bars of power, I'll just throw it anyway. 27 hits in, mediumly boosted. Well, he's a third of his health's already gone, so that's fine. Put him into the Doom Cycle. There you go. Get that fully working. Instantly shrug off the indestructible. Here it throws a special 1 like straight away. And then I can see how much damage I'm doing, so I just decided to throw a special 2. I didn't want to at first just because of Guardian's energy resistance and his sort of abilities. But as you can see there, it was overkill, and yeah. So that was my war done. We ended up winning the war quite nicely, so it was a nice little revenge from last season. But thank you very much for watching.